Good morning, friends. Greetings and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements in my practice where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your vitality and health and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 29 years of practicing pharmacy, I've seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like acne and psoriasis and eczema and rosacea, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing and regenerating system designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that healing system a miracle, it really is no miracle at all. It's just the way the body works. If you are dealing with a health challenge, if a loved one, friend, family member is dealing with some kind of degenerative long-term health challenge and you're at your wit's end and doctors aren't helping you and the drugs aren't helping you and you're one of the 100 million plus Americans dealing with these kinds of problems, let us help you change your life. We can do it today. Pick up the phone, call 844-236-6010, 844-236-6010. Let us show you and our listeners how easy it can be to reverse chronic degenerative disease using a nutritional supplement program, using dietary strategies, using mental health and emotional health strategies. Healing is multidimensional, but healing is easy because it's in the body's nature to do so. 844-236-6010 is our number. Please give us a call. Likewise, if you have a success story or you want to contribute to the conversation, we'd love to hear from you. 844-236-6010 is our number on The Bright Side. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear advertised on the program, please head over to brightsideben.com. You can order products right off the website or my blog, criticalhealthnews.com and pharmacistben.com, my blogs. Products are all available on the website. All the products you hear us talk about on the program, the Nightly Essence and the Fucoid Z and the Beyond Tangy Tangerine and the Healthy Start Pack, they're all up at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com. Of course, you can also sign up to join the Brightside Ben team right off the website and help me in my mission to educate the world about how powerful a good nutritional supplement program can be. You can also call the phone team at 866-735-2470. And if you're interested in purchasing any of our skin health products, including our retinol 5%, yes, 5% gel, you're not going to find that anywhere, folks. There's no products on the market, even though there are some that dishonestly will tell you they are. There are no products that have that much retinol in them because retinol is very unstable and very active. On the other hand, my Truth Treatment Retinol 5% gel, as active as it is, will not cause any irritation. It is stabilized, plus you get the bonus of a big old dose of premium fat-soluble vitamin C. Check it out at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. Okay, so we're talking about vitamin E, our fat-protecting vitamin, which means it protects everything in the sense that, I should say all our cells, in the sense that all our cells are covered up with fat. The health of all our cells depends on fat. The health of the cell depends on the membrane, which is largely composed of fat. It's a fatty membrane. The health of a cell is dependent on the health of the fatty membrane, and the health of the fatty membrane, in turn, is dependent on vitamin E. Vitamin E is your cell's best friend, or at least one of your cell's best friend, in the sense that this membrane is the determining factor of how healthy a cell will be. And, as we say all the time on this program, all disease is cell disease. Why don't you hear that from your doctor? Because the cell doesn't listen to the doctor. The only way the medical model can do anything about a cell is either to poison it or remove it. That's all you need to know about the failure, the utter failure of the medical model when it comes to dealing with health or long-term health crises, degenerative progressive disease. The cell does not pay attention to a doctor. The cell is like, get these Satan out of here when it comes to the medical model. I don't want to pick on any individual physicians. It's the model. And the cell is not responsive to the model. The only thing the medical model can do to a cell is poison it or remove it. That's it. That tells you all you need to know about how ridiculous our way of treating chronic degenerative disease is. All disease is cell disease. Medicine is helpless at that level. On the other hand, using nutrition, using nutrients, using dietary strategies, everything we talk about on this program, that's how you take care of your cell. And when it comes to vitamin E protects the outside part of a cell, which in large measure was the determining factor on how healthy that cell will be. And by the way, the protection benefit of vitamin E is not just for us. It's not just for human cells. It's not just for animal cells. It's for plant cells, especially for plant cells. We benefit as a side effect. The main benefit of vitamin E, the main reason for the existence of vitamin E is not for us. It's for the plant. Vitamin E's powerful, powerful antioxidant properties are used by the plant to protect it from the sun. Plants are dependent on the sun. Plants live in the sun all day long. They thrive in the sun. They never get skin cancer. Plants never get wrinkles from the sun as long as they're nutriated appropriately because of things like vitamin E. Vitamin E is designed by the divine force to protect the plant from oxidation, to protect the oils in the plant, particularly the seeds of the plant. Vitamin E is a seed protector. Most of the oils that we live on or subsist on in the standard American diet are processed oils. They come from seeds. They're derived from seeds, but they don't have the good stuff. This is the problem with seed oil. This is why nutritionists like Dr. Wallach and others have pointed out that seed oils are problematic. It's not so much when they're in the seed, it's when they're extracted from the seed because they don't have the vitamin E and the other protective factors that are in the seed. They're just the oil. And then you add the fact that they're processed and refined and they're heated and they're solvents that are used. All of this makes seed oils problematic. But it's not so much the oil in the seed. It's when it's extracted from the seed and concentrated in a product and stored in a bottle and then refined and then we cook with it. That's where the problem comes from. And one of the main reasons why these concentrated oils that are derived from seeds, which are healthy in the seed, one of the main reasons why they're not good for us is because the vitamin E has been taken out. The oils in a seed are located mostly in the bran portion, that's the outer part of the seed, as well as the germ portion, which is the inner part of the seed. When we process seeds, and make no mistake about it, seed processing, i.e. grain processing, is a super high-tech, super profit-intensive industry. It would not be inaccurate to say that much of the wealth of our country, of the United States of America, as well as other industrial countries, is dependent on this ability that we have, this technology that we have to extract the starch out of seeds and throw the rest out. The bran and the germ, that's the good stuff. We're not eating the bran and the germ for the most part unless we buy it separately. For the most part, we're eating the sweet, carb-rich middle portion of the grain. It's called the endosperm. It also has a little bit of protein in there. The endosperm is extracted from the bran and the germ. The oils are then taken out of the bran and the germ, and they're sold to us as supplements. Or sometimes the oil alone, I should say the nutrients in the oil portion are sold to us as supplements, but the oil portion is then sold to us as oil. And by the way, there are lots of these antioxidant nutrients that are found in the bran and the germ. It's not just vitamin E. Vitamin E exists as a member of a team, a protective team. This is how nature works. Antioxidants exist as a team. And in the seed, it's a team of antioxidants that protects the oils. And one of these, there's a very interesting member of these protective elements, a member of the team, if you will, the antioxidant team, that we talk about sometimes on this program and hear about it a lot these days, as something that's not so good for us. Something called phytic acid or phytates. Phytic acid and phytates, yes, the same phytic acid that you hear some nutritionists and even consumers telling you that you need to stay away from and avoid, it's actually a very valuable antioxidant and a member of the oil-protecting antioxidant team, like vitamin E. We'll talk about that when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll be back right after this.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Be sure to visit GCNlive.com today.
Okay, we are back on the bright side. Got lines open for you. 844-236-6010. 844-236-6010 is our number. If you have questions about the longevity products, health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you've got questions about anything we're talking about today, or comments, or success story, 844-236-6010 is our number on the bright side. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear advertised or recommended on the program, you can purchase them right off the websites, brightsideben.com, criticalhealthnews.com, or pharmacistben.com. And if you're interested in our Truth Treatment products, please check out truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. Okay, so phytic acid, really interesting. It kind of underscores or highlights the idea that things aren't all that simple sometimes in the world of nutrition. You know, simplistically, phytates are bad, phytic acid is bad. You hear a lot of folks talking about that. And yes, indeed, there's some problems associated with phytic acid, but that doesn't mean that phytates in general are bad. They're part of the seed. They're part of the seed complex. They're part of the way the seed protects itself from rancidity. And just like the phytates or phytic acid will protect the seed or the seed oils from going rancid, guess what? It'll protect our fats from going rancid too. Our cell membranes from going rancid as well. That means phytic acid can be a darn important protective molecule. The same phytic acid that you hear negative things about actually is part of nature's natural, inherent, built-in antioxidant for seed oils. And that means it's going to protect our fats too. Phytates or phytic acid are anti-cancer. Yes. They help stabilize and support cell growth. They prevent the formation of tumors. This is phytic acid, the same stuff you hear everybody, moaning about and complaining about and telling you you gotta eliminate. Phytic acid can halt the proliferation of cancer cells. They may also help prevent heart disease. They also may help prevent calcification of blood vessels. They may also be important for diabetics. Yes, phytic acid may have benefits for diabetics. Phytic acid will lower the glycemic index of foods. Phytic acid will make it easier for us to process starches. Yes, phytic acid. So contrary to conventional wisdom, phytic acid, there are some really solid, good nutritional reasons to enjoy your phytic acid and your phytates. On the other hand, nothing's that simple. On the other hand, there's problems with phytic acid. Phytic acid is part of the way that the plant or the seed protects itself. And its mechanism, the way it works, the way it protects fats, is by locking up, tying up, magnetically attracting, deactivating, if you will, minerals, especially active minerals like iron and copper and zinc. These are highly active minerals, even calcium and magnesium. Not quite as active as iron or copper, but still pretty active. And this is the problem with phytic acid. This is why some nutritionists will tell you not to use phytic acid or to cook your foods or steam your foods, your grains and seeds, or to sprout your seeds, to remove or to minimize or to reduce the phytates, the phytic acid, because these nutritionists know that calcium and magnesium and zinc and iron and other minerals can be locked away by phytates and by phytic acid. Well, is that a reason to avoid the phytates or phytic acid? I'm not sure. Maybe we should get more calcium and more magnesium and then enjoy our phytic acid. It's not like phytic acid is going to completely eliminate all your minerals. It's just going to reduce their availability. So maybe we need more. Maybe we should eat more magnesium and calcium and make sure we're supplementing with zinc and make sure we're getting our iron from quality meats. Make sure we're getting our copper. Make sure we're getting all our nutrients in abundance, and then we can enjoy our phytates and our phytic acid. I'm not saying yay or nay. I'm just saying it's not that cut and dry. By the way, there is a supplement that you may have seen called IP6. And IP6 has been marketed as a anti-cancer supplement. If you Google IP6, and I think it's called the technical name is inositol hexaphosphate, IP6. That's what it's called, IP6. And IP6, there's little booklets. I read a little booklet a few years ago on IP6, and basically it's somebody selling a product. It's not definitively anti-cancer, although there is some research that indicates that it might be anti-cancer. IP6 is a chelating agent. It chelates iron and copper and zinc. Oh, guess what? IP6 is phytic acid. It's just another name for phytic acid. Yes, phytates, phytic acid, the same stuff that lots of folks will tell you to avoid, is actually being marketed as an anti-cancer supplement under the name IP6. Why? Because of the relationship that copper and iron and active minerals, basically iron for the most part, have in initiating cancers. These are active minerals, and they're important, but they also could be problematic. By tying up iron and by tying up these active minerals, cancer cells don't get the benefit of the nutrients, and you don't have to worry about the iron doing its magical transformation action on a cell. So phytic acid, IP6, have anti-cancer effects to the extent that they're actually being sold, that IP6 is actually being sold as an anti-cancer supplement. And there's a very important relationship between phytic acid and phytates and vitamin E. They're on the team. It's all part of the antioxidant team. In seeds, vitamin E and phytic acid go together. And there's other substances that you may have seen on an ingredient deck, or you may have seen marketed in skincare products that are found as a member of the team as well. Substances like ferulic acid, Ferulic. You may have seen that on ingredient decks, or caffeic acid, Caffeic, or cinnamic acid. You may have seen these and wondered, what are these things? Cinnamic acid, ferulic acid. There's a doctor who shall remain nameless who loves using these things as a skincare antioxidants because he knows that these are antioxidants for fats. They protect fats. But the point is they're members of the team, the vitamin E team, the phytic acid team. They live in a seed together. And yes, it's true that they have antioxidant properties, but that doesn't necessarily mean that what you're hearing from nutritional companies and skincare companies who are trying to sell us these substances as some kind of magical health aid or anti-aging product doesn't mean that the ferulic acid is going to work on its own. In reality, these things are not about the individual components as they are about the team nature of these things. And this is why supplements are supplements, as in supplemental. They're not the food. We still need our whole foods. Antioxidant compounds that live as a team makes whole foods extremely valuable. And the fact that these things exist as a team or exist as a complex is an example of why whole foods should always be the core of healthy nutrition. Supplements should be just that, supplements. They supplement a good, whole food rich, primarily raw, enzyme rich diet. That's how you want to leverage or exploit or take advantage of supplements, as supplements to supplement your diet. All right, so vitamin E, like all the fatty vitamins, exists as a family of vitamins. Not only is it a complex inside the seed with phytic acid and ferulic acid, but in and of itself, vitamin E is a member of a family, the vitamin E family, the vitamin E group, like D and K and A. This makes the fatty vitamins a little bit trickier to work with and a little bit trickier to understand than the water-soluble nutrients. There's 8 different vitamin E members of the vitamin E family. We'll talk about that when we come back from our break and take your phone calls as well. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side. Thanks for joining us. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, 24/7 on our archive page at brightsideben.com. You can also head to criticalhealthnews.com or pharmacistben.com and check out my blogs and also my skin health blog at truthtreatments.com. And check out our Facebook page, too. We post on The Truth with Ben. That's my Facebook page for my Truth Skin Health products. Got lines open for you, 844-236-6010. We'll get your calls here in just a sec. And I do have some emails that I've been meaning to get to if we have a moment. So tomorrow we'll talk about the different types of vitamin E. And specifically, we'll talk about the tocotrienols, which are super duper fascinating. We haven't really known a lot about these things. They are they're the Cadillac of vitamin E's. It's really hard to highlight how unbelievably valuable the tocotrienols are. Do you know that tocotrienols are natural statin drugs? Yes, natural statins. We'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll talk a little about cholesterol tomorrow and the tocotrienols as we continue talking vitamin E and the fat-soluble vitamins and fatty hormones. All as it regards, as we started anyway, the skin and skin health issues, which, by the way, are super duper easy to reverse. All health issues, all health challenges, all progressive degenerative diseases are really not difficult to reverse. They may be, I shouldn't say that, they're simple to reverse, but they require lifestyle changes that sometimes may be difficult for us to employ. But when it comes to the skin, it is so tragic that anybody has psoriasis or acne or eczema. And dermatologists, I don't know how these people live with themselves. They're making a lot of money, by the way, the dermatologists are. And has any dermatologist ever eliminated a skin disease? Never. On the other hand, the skin is ultra responsive to nutritional and dietary strategies. And yes, it's true that it seems somewhat superficial and cosmetic to worry about plaques of psoriasis or acne pimples, but it could be majorly debilitating, psychologically debilitating and emotionally debilitating if you're a kid. Or even if you're an adult and you've got plaques, you've got any kind of skin health issue. There's there's one that we've talked about called hidradenitis suppurativa. I love that. That's a poster child for the stupidity of diagnostics. Hidradenitis suppurativa is just swollen sweat glands. Not just swollen, but you get boils and cysts. Can you imagine this? You have sweat glands all over your skin, and the sweat glands get boils and cysts. And especially where you sweat a lot, like in your groin or under your elbow, or under your arm, I should say, or between, on the other side of your elbow or behind your knees. It is one of the most awful, god-awful health challenges you could deal with, and dermatologists have no idea what to do. They're actually using Humira, which is a major immune suppressant drug that they use for autoimmune diseases. And sadly, like all skin health issues, hidradenitis suppurativa, boils and cysts in your sweat glands is just as easy to reverse as any other skin health condition. If you're dealing with a health challenge, if you're dealing with a skin health challenge particularly, please give us a call, 844-236-6010, 844-236-6010. Let us show you how simple it can be. Now, simple is not easy because you do have to change your life, and that isn't always easy. But it sure is simple once you understand the mechanisms of how these things work, how the disease process kicks in. All right, Denise in Florida, what's going on? Welcome to the Bright Side. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey.
Quick question for you regarding digestive aids and being hydrochloric acid.
I'm sorry, I just lost you there. Denise, I just lost you. Regarding digestive aids and what did you say?
Yes, betaine, I think HCl.
Yes, wonderful,
Okay,
wonderful stuff.
I wanted to ask, because I found out some people as far as who made lifestyle changes, they said that they weren't developing enough stomach acid, so I decided to just buy the supplement, but I wanted to see if there's a way to take it or to know if you have enough stomach acid.
Well, you can tell you have enough stomach acid or you're not making enough stomach acid if you start using stomach acid supplements, such as apple cider vinegar, hydrochloric acid drops, hydrochloric acid capsules, or betaine HCl, which contains hydrochloric acid. If you start taking these things and you feel better, you had an HCl deficiency. Also, if you have heartburn, that could be a sign of HCl deficiency. Also, if you have osteoporosis, that could be a sign of HCl deficiency. In fact, if you're over the age of, say, 35 or 40, I would just pretty much assume that you have at least some degree of HCl deficiency. And most certainly, if you have a chronic long-term degenerative issue, I'd just assume that you have an HCl deficiency. So that answers that. I hope that answers that other question. What did you ask me? You want to know how you take them?
Right. Some people say you take a certain amount of capsules, let's say for the betaine, that has maybe 650 milligrams, I think.
Yeah.
And if you feel certain, like a discomfort or any sensation in your stomach, then you've reached the right amount of capsules.
If you have any kind of, what would you did you say, like burning sensation?
Right, or
Yes.
discomfort.
Yes, that could be a sign that you're taking too much or that you've reached your limit, absolutely, especially with apple cider vinegar. But it could also mean you have an ulceration. It could also mean you don't have enough and you're just feeling the ulceration. But that's, generally speaking, that could be a helpful strategy. Also, how you digest your food. Unfortunately, there's no cut and dry way of knowing. which is why it's better to do more when it's with something as non-toxic as betaine. By the way, betaine's technical name is glycine, trimethylglycine technically. And glycine is a very important amino acid for building connective tissue for wound healing. So betaine is fabulously helpful. I mean fabulously helpful. It's in your ultimate enzymes. It's one of the most underappreciated of all the supplements. I don't want to nutritional. It's not really nutrition, but all the supplements you could take, betaine is one of the most underappreciated. And you don't have to have hypo or chlorhydria, which is the technical name for low stomach acid, to benefit because of its glycine content. There's no real way to know definitively, Denise. I wish I could tell you, take 3, take 4.
Okay.
This is when you take too much. Take it with all your foods. And that's one of the reasons why I like apple cider vinegar so well, because you get all the other benefits of apple cider vinegar, the potassium and the minerals, as well as the short chain fatty acids, which we talked about in the past from apple cider vinegar. That's my favorite way to acidify the stomach. But betaine is great too, and also you can get HCl drops from on a prescription at a compounding pharmacy. Anything else, my dear?
No, just where I wasn't absorbing the vitamins or nutrition.
Well, you'll know by how you feel. You'll know by, are you feeling better? Are you feeling stronger? Are you less hungry? This is the way. We have to become attuned to our bodies to really make these kinds of assessments. Your questions are wonderful, Denise. A lot of people ask these. The bottom line is you've got to be attuned to your body. This is what the Bright Side's all about. It's about becoming our own authority. I want to make myself irrelevant. Doctors should make themselves irrelevant. Nutritionists should make themselves irrelevant. When we learn to tune into our bodies, to feel how strong you are after your meals. Are you tired after your meals? Are you hungry even after you ate a big meal? These are all indicators that you're not absorbing. And certainly, if you have a long-term chronic degenerative health crisis, you can pretty much assume you're not absorbing or you're not making enough stomach acid. So go by your symptoms, your general symptoms, and if you don't have any, go by how you feel, just in a general sense.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. I hate to be vague here, but that's just how nutrition works, and that's just how the body works. There's so much subtlety here, and there's so much nuance here that it's hard to just give blanket statements. This is bad, this is good, got to do this, got to do that, don't do this, don't do that. I don't like talking that way. First of all, that's talking down to you. That's condescending. I don't like doing that. I want to respect you guys. And really, the fact of the matter is that we have to learn to have an acuity, a sensitivity to what's happening in our bodies. And then we won't need any authorities. We'll be our own authority. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll take a break and come back with more of your phone calls right after this on The Bright Side. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Got lines open for you. If you have a success story you'd like to share, or comment on our conversation, or if you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, 844-236-6010 is our number. RC in Santa Cruz, I believe. Is that you, RC? Royal Crown?
Hey, Ben. Hey, great.
RC and
nice
me.
To see you. Happy New Year.
Thank you, my friend. Did you ever hear that commercial, Me and My RC? Me and My RC?
Yeah, I didn't like RC Cola. I liked 7-Up. But
do you know RC Cola was invented by a pharmacist? I'll bet you didn't know that.
No.
It was a knockoff of Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola was invented by an Atlanta or Georgia pharmacist anyway, and RC Cola came 20 years later, and it was a kind of knockoff on Coca-Cola. Pharmacists have a long history of doing things with soda fountains, where old-time pharmacies, of course, always had soda fountains. But anyway, that's just a little bit of history.
Well, you're a plethora of information and articulate. My vocabulary has increased since I started listening to you. Hey,
seriously, I love that. Thank you. Are you smarter? You were always smart, RC, but you were always smart, but are you smarter now that you listen to this program?
Oh, yeah, I'm much more. In fact, I was just reading something about Monsanto and soy and GMO. Anyway, I'm going to send it to my daughter because families really, how can they afford not to eat this stuff? Everything's so expensive that.
Well, don't eat. You know what the answer to that, RC, is we eat way too much. This is where fasting and caloric restriction not only is going to help you from a health perspective, it'll save you a lot of money. We don't need to eat anywhere near as much as we're eating, and I'm certainly not beating anybody up for their food habits here. I'm just saying that yes, the cost of eating well is expensive, but we don't need as many calories, and we don't need to be eating as much as we're eating. And certainly, a nutritional supplement program can help you in that regard too. The more you supplement, the less calories you'll intake as well. But I didn't mean to interrupt there. What were you saying, RC?
Well, my aunt was going down. I've called you back in 2012 many times on my aunt, and she broke her hip and broke her humerus, moved out of her house. Well, I moved her out of her house and into assisted living. Now she's in a one of those small homes with a really good lady that's addressing her needs. But they had written her off as dementia and psychosis and all this. And finally, she got back on the wagon, and I just ordered some BTT and sent it to her, this home that she's in. And within 2 weeks, she was her old self again. I mean,
isn't that amazing, RC? Praise God. That is
90 years old. And,
I've seen it so many times. You know, RC, I'm so glad you called, because I get the feeling when I talk about that, especially old folks in nursing homes, nobody benefits as much or more than old folks in nursing homes when they start using the BTT. It should be a standard part of a nursing home regimen. And if it's not, at least we should be able to give our moms and dads and grandparents some BTT in the nursing home, because what you're talking about, RC, I've seen more times than I can count. Talk about Ted Anderson all the time. It's because of the B vitamins and the liquid nutrients. So it took 2 weeks, you said, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was within 2 weeks. I mean, she was like, we couldn't even have a coherent conversation. Nobody could with her.
And then 2 weeks.
A couple of weeks later, 10 days later, after she'd gotten on it, I wasn't going to attribute it all to the BTT because this lady's feeding her really well. And
that's probably helping.
I mean, but it obviously had something to do with it, because it just it got there and she started taking it, and then she started clicking on all cylinders again. I'm thinking, Aunt Jean, you're going to run out of your money now.
Whatever, it's worth it to have her aunt or whatever it is, her mom back. That's that's priceless. That's priceless.
Yeah, to be able to. I mean, she was loony. I mean, literally loony.
Well, here's the thing about that, RC. When somebody is, like you say, loony or cognitively impaired or has dementia in the nursing home, it's one thing for the caregiver to have to deal with it, but the patient themselves. Imagine the quality of life of the patient. The patient can't communicate. The patient can't have a conversation or a relationship. So not only are you making it easy on making it easier on the caretakers when you get these folks, nursing home patients, on the BTT, on a good nutritional supplement program, on bone soup. Not only are you helping out the caretaker, but the patient as well. The patient can now have relationships. The quality of life, the improvement in the quality of life for the patient, for your aunt. Talk to your aunt about what it's like for her to be on the BTT. What does she say?
Says she has joy in her heart again because
praise God.
Like locked in a prison.
Is that not worth 50?
In her own mind.
Is that not worth?
Her own bed. They wouldn't even let her out of a bed because they're afraid she was going to fall and all this. And now she's talking about using her walker and getting outside and walking. The lady takes her shopping and to church and to the store, and it's fabulous.
That's awesome.
It is.
That's awesome.
It's a joy that's priceless.
That's not worth $50 a month. Come on, why are nursing homes not taking care? Why aren't nursing homes providing the BTT? Why aren't insurance companies paying for the Beyond Tangy Tangerine? And by the way, I don't know if anybody, this interests anybody, but I had a friend here in Colorado who had Medicaid is actually paying for his baby's BTT. His baby was born with a heart defect. And they found that the BTT made a big difference, so the doctor wrote a prescription for the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, and Medicaid is actually paying for the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. So I don't know if anybody out there is interested. That helps anybody. But if your doctor writes a prescription, if you can get your doctor to write a prescription for the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, at least in Colorado, Medicaid will pay for it, and who knows, maybe some insurance companies will pay for it as well. They should, because there's no drug. RC, listen to me. Do you think there's a drug on the planet that can do that for your aunt? Do you think there's any drug that can do that? Anything the doctor can do to do that? If a doctor is truly interested in the health of their patient and they see with their own two eyes what's happening to your aunt, they are derelict of their duty and their Hippocratic oath not to write a prescription for the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Just look at RC's aunt. Take
her doctor, doctors cut back her prescriptions.
That's awesome. You know what you should do?
8 or 9 a day down to 5. So
if you can, or if anybody listening can do this, if you do this experiment, get your camera, your video camera on your iPhone, and do a little 2-minute or 3-minute or 4-minute or 5-minute video of your Alzheimer's patient, or mom or dad or grandparent or whoever, somebody you know, and then get them on the BTT for 2 weeks, and then do another 2-minute YouTube video and post it on Facebook. I'm guaranteeing you're going to notice a huge difference. As long as there's no mechanical trauma or something like that. If it's strictly biochemical and the doctors can't figure out what's going on, it's dementia, and they say, oh, it's the plaques. Oh, it's the neural plaques. It's the fibrillary tangles in the brain. This is the dumbest thing. Doctors will say, oh, there's these little plaques in the brain, and that's what causes Alzheimer's disease. No, it doesn't. What's causing the plaques is the problem. Doctors will tell you it's the plaques that cause the Alzheimer's disease. Anyway, if you want to do that YouTube video, if you have a longevity business, do a YouTube video of the BTT. Go to a nursing home, volunteer. Just go to a nursing home if they'll let you, and YouTube. Do a video and post it on YouTube, and then do it 2 weeks later after you get them on some BTT and watch what happens. Anyway, is that good, RC? Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, just what I get every now and then on my left inside. I get like the jock rot. I don't know why it comes and it goes.
That jock rot, I think you're talking about a fungal infection. That's more topical than anything else, although fungal infections systemically, internally, usually involve probiotics and good bacteria and digestion. RC, I got to motivate, buddy. I want to get this last phone call in, okay? Thanks, man.
Right.
Happy New Year, bro. We'll talk to you soon.
Happy New Year to you, Ben. Bye.
Take care. Bye, RC. Okay, David in Texas. What's up, my man? Welcome to the Bright Side.
Yeah, hey, good morning, Ben. How are you? This is David in Austin.
Are you the David who... Did you text me or email me a couple of days ago? Was that you? That was another guy. Another David.
I did text you, I think it was a week or so ago.
Okay, you were very kind. I think that was you who was very kind, and I appreciate that.
I try to be. But anyway,
yes.
Got some questions. I did call in about a week ago or so, and I'm a success story. I'm a brave survivor.
I remember that. Yes, that was awesome. Yes.
Yeah. I've had super good results with everything you've recommended. The Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the probiotics enzymes.
You changed your life on your own. You changed your life on your own. No doctors.
Unbelievable change.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm a new man. I really do. I have so much strength and mental well-being, and
I can hear it in your voice. I can hear it in your voice.
I love it.
Got about a minute. Yeah.
So when I called in, you recommended intravenous vitamin C. I was wondering, is that something I can do myself, or do I have to actually
No, you can't do it yourself. You got to get hooked up. But there are naturopaths who will do it. You just lay down, and doctors who will do it even. You just lay down and relax, and they pump you with vitamin C and other nutrients if you like. Glutathione, selenium, the B complex. There's something called the Myers cocktail, which they use for autoimmune diseases and cancers. Lots of different nutrients that you're putting it right in the blood. You're bypassing your digestive system and the liver, and it's really quite beneficial. If I had cancer, that would be one of the first things I did. David, I only got about 20 seconds. I got to motivate.
The reason I ask is I'm taking about 3,000 milligrams of vitamin C right now.
It's a little bit different than that. David, I got to go, but call me tomorrow, man. We'll talk, okay? Thanks for your call. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for listening. Have an awesome, wonderful, beautiful day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.